Hey guys, Mr. Greif here, and before I start, once again, sorry for lighting. I'm still working on a better way to film all this kind of stuff. But today I'm going to do my top 10 Beatles songs, my personal favorite, just based on what I like to listen to, what I think are good songs. And yeah, so it's just my opinion, so if you disagree, don't kill me or anything, because that'd be bad, and that's murder, and you don't want to go to jail for not liking the same song as somebody, you know what I mean? That would be bad. But, let's just get straight into it then. With number 10, a McCartney song, an early McCartney song, 1964, from the album A Hard Day's Night, which most people like for the John songs, because it's got such great John songs like I Should Have Known Better, If I Fell, Tell Me Why, Can't Do That, I'll Be Back. But I think Paul McCartney has the best song on the album, what I consider to be his first great composition, and I Love Her. I just, the vocal delivery just sounds so sincere and real, like he really feels this way. It's very chilling. I think Paul McCartney really got John was really on his game with this album, and Paul I don't think was as much. Because if you look at this album, there's three Paul songs out of the 13 that are on the album, and the others are all John. Unless I'm Happy Just to Dance With You was more written by Paul, but I think it was more written by John, I think. But, just incredible how just well John was doing in this period. And I really think that, And I Love Her is very overlooked on this album. It's not underrated, I would say, but it's very overlooked. It's a great song. I love the guitar solo. I love the bongos. They kind of give some nice accents. Keep the beat. The claves are really good on there. I like that little touch. But of course, the main selling point is Paul McCartney's vocal delivery. And number 9 on the list, we'll get another great vocal delivery from Paul McCartney from the album Let It Be, but not from the album Let It Be. It's a different version of the song, The Long and Winding Road, the version from Anthology 3, which I consider to be better than the album version. I just love the raw feel of it. Paul McCartney's vocal delivery obviously is incredible. It's a masterpiece of its time. A lot of people don't like the Spector orchestral stuff. I don't either, so that's why I chose the Anthology 3 version, because it doesn't have all that, and I really like the just without it, it feels a lot more emotional and less produced, I guess. But just great overall. I like the little piano bit at the end rather than having the harp at the end. I do think that they should have sacked John off the bass. I know they were doing it, or was George on bass for this one? I'm not sure. But I think the bass delivery is meh at best. But yeah, great song. I like the Anthology 3 version. If you haven't listened to the Anthology version of these songs, because there's another one later that's an Anthology version, then I highly suggest you check out the Anthology stuff if you're not a hardcore Beatle fan. But I think anyone can enjoy the Anthology stuff. But next we have a single from 1966. Just turned 50 years old last year. That can be found on the album, the US album Hey Jude, or The Beatles Again, as it says on the record. Rain, which I used to say was my favorite song, but my opinions changed since then, and I think Rain is a technical masterpiece. The guitar sounds incredible throughout the entire song. John's vocal delivery is really great. I love I think it was very sped, wasn't it? Obviously, the drums on that song are probably Ringo's best. Paul McCartney's bass line is magnificent. George really does well on the guitar. Paul's great on bass. There's the backwards vocal at the end is insanely genius. It's just very fun song, but the lyrics, I love the lyrics, the way they're delivered. It's very good. And that's basically all to say about that. Not much you can say new about that, other than what's already been said by others. So we'll move on to number 7, and I'll have all the ranking in the comments as well, just in case you miss one or I forget to say a number. But number 7 can be found on the White Album, one of George Harrison's 4 tracks on here. Long, 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 which I mentioned on my top 10 underrated Beatles songs videos a week ago, I think. Fantastic song. Haunting vocals. That little ending with a drum roll and the rattle of the wine bottle and the ghostly wail that George does is great. I love the drums on the track. They're magnificent, using a lot of the same words, because these songs are just so good. I love the acoustic guitar intro, and then the kind of, I think is it a Moog synthesizer right there? Because that's what it sounds like to me. I don't think he had a Moog at the time though, so it's probably just like some sort of keyboard, maybe the Mellotron, I don't know. But just a fantastic song. It's very overlooked. I'd say that's the most overlooked song on the White Album. It's just so good, and I highly suggest that song. Give it a second chance, as I said on my underrated Beatles songs video. And moving on now to number 6, another title that has the same thing repeated on Revolver. She Said, another great John song from 1966. I love the lyrics in this song. I really can feel that I get emotion from John's vocal delivery and the lyrics. I love the story of how it came to be, where Peter Fonda was talking about how he shot himself in the face as a kid and should be dead, and he knows what it's like to be dead, and they were all high on acid. Just great stories for most songs the Beatles made. Just a fantastic song. Once again, Ringo's drums, great. I think 66 was a great year for Ringo drums. The bass line done by George is incredible. Love the guitar work. John's vocal, as I said, just fantastic. Just a great song. Not much I can say about that one. Moving on again to number 5, halfway through the list. Another song from the White Album. I got a second copy of it, so I don't have to go muddle through that pile to get it again, even though I'm gonna have to get this one again later. Hint, hint. Happiness is a Warm Gun. I love it. Very kind of reminds me of Wings stuff, which makes it even more of a surprise that John wrote it to me, because it's got that kind of 3 sections, and then they each change into each other seamlessly, with the Not a Girl Who Misses Much to Mother Superior, Jump the Gun. I Need a Fix, I think, is involved with the Mother Superior, and then the end, Happiness is a Warm Gun bit, the 50s doo-wop kind of thing. I just love, it's so rockin'. I have to have a good rocker on the list, and I think that's the best Beatle rocker. Once again, John's vocal, magnificent. The drums, great. I love when they go into 3/4, but Ringo stays in 4/4. Just raw energy throughout, and they recorded it live, which I think is crazy, because it's very complex in its time signatures. Just very good song. So good. And that's all I can basically say. A lot of people enjoy that song. I think it's a very good song. One of my favorites from the White Album. Now moving on to 67, the only song I think from 1967 on my list, which surprised probably the most people. But from that you can find on the U.S. compilation Magical Mystery Tour. Side 2, Strawberry Fields Forever. The double A side single, Strawberry Fields, Penny Lane. Strawberry Fields, you have to have, all Beatle top 10 lists have either Strawberry Fields or A Day in the Life. And I like Strawberry Fields better. And Strawberry Fields just, the vocal is chilling to the bone. It's haunting. It's insanely emotional, I feel. The drums, I've talked about the drums in my drum analysis video. There's incredible drums on that track. I love all the orchestration, the arrangement of the horns and the strings done by George Martin. Just Strawberry Fields, man. Like that end bit where Ringo's just beating on the drums and they got John saying cranberry sauce. It's incredible. I love the backwards cymbals and the crazy noises. The fact that the beginning and it's two different takes of the songs, and George Martin, like a magician, brought them back together so they could work together. It's insane. So that's number 4 on my list, Strawberry Fields. And here we go again, back to the White Album, except a version that's not on the White Album. We get While My Guitar Gently Weeps, but the Anthology 3 version. I don't know what it is. I like the Anthology version better. I love George's vocal in the Anthology version better. There's extra lyrics that I love. There's the acoustic element of it, I think, is much better than the rock and roll version. And I think that's one of the greatest alternate takes of a song ever. And While My Guitar Gently Weeps should be sung as an acoustic kind of song. I think it's made to be like that. And if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's incredible. With a little bit of Paul on the mellotron, I think, or piano, keyboard, something, near the end. But just incredible. The finger picking, incredible. And I highly suggest the Anthology version of that song. So that's number 3, While My Guitar Gently Weeps from Anthology 3. Now to number 2. We're getting close. Rubber Soul, 1965, another John song. Side 2, Girl. Girl is, what can I say? It's incredible song. Those lyrics are incredible, and the whole song just really pulls me in. And those John Lennon really sounds like he's hurting almost, and I just love that song so much. A little acoustic guitar solo kind of bit, even though I don't even think it's really a guitar solo. It's incredible. The vocal harmonies during the chorus, the breathing in there is great. Ringo's drums where he's doing like the crash cymbal and choking it, like the ksh, ksh, just great. And I think that's a very overlooked song on Rubber Soul. I don't think it gets the attention it deserves. And that's why it's number 2 on my list. So, before I get to number 1, I have some honorable mentions. They're all John songs. I didn't realize that till just now. Nowhere Man, just great song, just didn't get on my list. Yes It Is, I think is very overlooked song. I'm Only Sleeping, as you can tell from this video, I love 1966 for the Beatles. I'll Be Back from A Hard Day's Night, great song. And I'm a Loser from Beatles for Sale. Just all those are great songs, and I wish I could have a bit longer list. Maybe one day I'll do all the Beatles songs or something, because I've ranked them before, but I'd have to re-rank them, because that was forever ago. That was back when Rain was still my number 1 favorite song, and then She Said was number 2. So maybe I'll do that sometime, maybe. But let's get to number 1. Number 1, now, if you pay attention, you'll realize that number 10 and number 9 are the only Paul songs on the list. And then it's all John and George. So we got Rain, John, Long, 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 George, She Said, John, Happiness, John, Strawberry, John, All My Guitar Gently Weeps, George, and then Girl, John. So I'm obviously more of a John and George guy. But my number one favorite song is a Paul song from, once again, Revolver. That song is For No One. It's such a great song, very emotional. I love the piano. I love Ringo's tambourine and snare drum with brush accents. That French horn is one of the greatest pieces of Beatle arrangement I've ever heard. Paul McCartney's vocal is so emotional and raw, and I just really feel his emotion in him. And I wish this song went on for an extra minute and a half, because it's so short. Does it say on the back of here how long it is? Yeah. 2 minutes 30 seconds. No, not 2 minutes 3 seconds. Shorter than all the other songs in the album, I think. Yeah. It could be so much longer and I would love it even more. I love that song. Alan Civil on the French horn. That's all I had to say. Makes it number one. So, what do you guys think? What are your 10 favorite Beatles songs? I'd love to hear what they are. Put them in the comments down there. And, subscribe if you're not. Like the video if you liked it, or don't, or dislike it if you hated it. I don't care. And, thanks for watching.